Well, it's a new year and we're back with Jessica Ennis. It's been a few months, Jess, since we last saw you on Sportsvibe. In fact, it was here in Sheffield, outdoors in the summer, before the European Championships in Barcelona, which of course you went on to win. And here we are now, third in the Sports Personality of the Year for the second year running, engaged to be married, World Championships coming up this year, and the small matter of the Olympics next year. It's non-stop with you, isn't it?
Yeah, last year was definitely busy, but yeah, it was a brilliant year, and to top it off with Sports Personality at the end of the year, coming third again was brilliant. And again into another busy year this year, and obviously the Olympics year after, so yeah, it's going to be non-stop, but an exciting couple of years. Yeah,
no, I mean it has been an exciting couple of years already. Tell us about sort of the plan for the next 2 years. I mean, obviously win as much as you can, but I sense you're discovering already that now that you're at the top, it's going to be hard to stay there.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's definitely hard to get there, and you have to put a lot of time and work, but then once you are at that level, then you have to maintain your performance and improve, you know, slight bits. So yeah, it's definitely going to be hard, and having the World Championships this year and then the Olympics year after, everyone's obviously, you know, really fired up for that and going to be training hard and wanting to win the gold medal at both of those, so it's going to be really, really tough, but I'm looking forward to it.
Now, I'll tell you what I noticed at the World Championships in 2009. Not that it was easy, because it's never easy, is it? But you won with some room to spare. Fast forward 12 months, European Championships, which in your event is pretty much the same, except for maybe one or two athletes. It's the same level.
Yeah.
It's not a step down. Again, you won, but boy, that was close, and it was very exciting. And Dubrinska, who came second, she even at one point, when she overtook you on the final bet in the 800 metres, if she'd gone away from you, she could have won the whole thing. So that was close, wasn't it?
Yeah, the two championships were completely different. Yeah, it was quite a comfortable win in Berlin, and then Barcelona was a real test, and you know, they were right on my heels the whole way, so it was a real challenge. But yeah, it's good to have that competition, and you know, it's only going to get harder this year and next year, so I've had a taste of it, and hopefully I can keep training hard and improve my performances.
Now, the thing about it being 2011, I don't know about you, but I've always felt, Olympics, so it's quite some way away. It's next year. It's suddenly next year. What does that do to you when I say it's next year? I mean, I assume you knew that.
I did know that.
But it's next year, Jess.
Yeah, it's really weird to think that it's, you know, this season and then it's the next season's the Olympics. But yeah, it's really exciting. I'm still very focused on this year because there's so much to come before next year. But it is exciting and very nerve-wracking.
Now, how about the fact that you're now at the top, and you, if you like, are the big scout now? It's a new sort of phenomenon for you. I mean, you noticed it last year in the summer, and they always say, you know, it's tough getting there, it's tougher staying there. Is there some truth in that adage?
Yeah, I think so. I think it is definitely hard once you've hit that level, and it's not about major improvements now. I'm not going to, you know, put 300, 400 points in my PB each year. It's going to be really small improvements, and I think that's when it gets hard, because it's just fine-tuning everything. So it is difficult to stay there, but with hard work, hopefully I can.
So, I mean, there's still a small matter of Denise's GB record. I mean, you're so close to that now.
Yeah.
I suspect if you're going to keep on winning global titles, that's going to have to go.
Yeah, I mean, I was really close to it in Barcelona, and my main aim was to obviously win the gold, but it would have been nice to have that as well. But yeah, it's nice to be that close, and you know, I know that if I can get everything right on the day and make a few improvements, and hopefully I can break the record. Well,
you see, you probably could have broken the record, but you obviously thought about the public watching in Barcelona because you wanted to make it exciting, didn't you?
Honestly, you know? I wasn't thinking that. I didn't actually realise how close she was to me at that stage.
Oh, we were screaming at you. She's behind you.
And then I saw this kind of big figure come alongside me. But yeah, it was exciting, but it was quite a lot of pressure I put on myself in that last 200.
Do you know what? When she went past you, honestly, what was going through your mind?
I just thought, I'm not going to let her win this. The last 200 metres out of 2 days of competition, I'm not just going to give it away then. So I just gave everything.
It was a bit worrying watching it, but then you seemed to, I mean, from afar, it looked as if this isn't a problem at all. I just step up a gear, You stepped up a gear and shot past her.
I was comfortable within the race, and I think sometimes you fall into a bit of a rhythm of the 800 and you kind of forget where everyone else is. So I think I'd just settled into a rhythm and then realised, oh, she's a bit too close, and then had to find that extra gear.
Now, you took the decision not to go to the Commonwealth Games in Delhi. That was just to rest, I suppose, because a big 2011 and big 2012?
Yeah, that was the main reason, just that I wanted to get a good winter block in. My aims are to do the indoors, the European indoors and the World Championships, and it is a long year, so yeah. I want to make sure I got a good base for this year.
So did you watch Delhi?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Louise, Hazel,
yeah,
your mate,
yeah,
won gold, which I guess, you know, if you weren't going to be there and winning it yourself, you must be delighted to see her.
Yeah, it was nice to, you know, have Louise in great, doing some and watch it and think, I kind of wish I was there, but, you know, I was happy with my decision.
Had a good winter?
Yeah, I had a really good winter season, so...
What have you been doing? Tell me what you've done over the last few months.
Just lots of running sessions, hill sessions in the park before Christmas.
Does that mean hill sessions in the park? Sprints up and down hills?
It's basically about 150 metre hill, quite a gradual hill.
Yeah.
And we just do reps up and run up and then walk back down recovery and then
just
do loads of those.
Lovely.
Just for conditioning. And yeah, lots of weights and plyometrics, and started doing the technical work later on in the winter, and just everything really, just trying to get really strong and really fast.
Okay. We were just saying, weren't we, the European Indoors is one of the few titles these days you don't actually have, because you missed the last one in 2009 because you were recuperating, weren't you, still from your injury in 2008?
Yeah.
I think you were sort of just in the early throes, weren't you, of getting back to athletics?
Yeah.
And obviously the one before in 2007, you were a little bit too young, weren't you?
Yeah, that was I think that was my second senior year, so having a really good Commonwealth Games and then the Europeans was just kind of a next step up. So I came sixth there. It was a really good competition, but at that stage...
That's not too shabby, by the way, sixth when you... I mean, how old were you?
How old was I?
2007, you were 20.
Was I 20?
Yeah. Well, because you're 24, aren't you?
20,
you're 24.
20, yeah.
Well, there we go. I was going to say that's getting old, but that's not the thing to say to a...
It's getting old.
It's not a thing to say to a girl, is it?
It's getting old.
No, it means that you're in peak prime condition.
Yeah, I would say, yeah. Good years. 24, 25, 26, getting a bit old.
You reckon? You'll be 26 in London.
Yeah, I know.
You're not saying you're too old.
I'll be in my peak then.
There we go, there we go. Now, what do you think about coming third in the BBC Sports Personality of the Year? Because you've done that twice now.
Yeah.
Twice running, and I must admit, I thought you had a great shout last year, but I was surprised, in a nice way, I hasten to add, Jess, that you did it again, which shows how popular you appear to be with the British public. Were you surprised?
I was very surprised, because just sat there watching all the top 10 nominees and them all going up doing their interviews. Everyone was so good and achieved so much, and I thought, oh, it's going to be a tough one to be placed in the top 3 at all. So yeah, it was a really, really nice surprise.
Yeah, it's getting a bit of a habit now for you.
I know.
Well, hopefully next year, or this year, but actually I think next year would be the one, wouldn't it? If you could get that Olympic gold.
Yeah, that would be ideal, wouldn't it?
But you've got to hang in there. It's a tough thing that you do, isn't it? And
and these next 2 years are going to be extremely tough, so you kind of can't take anything for granted, and just keep going.
No, but it's been stepping stones, hasn't it? For all the achievements that you've done, and they've been major, you've always seen them as stepping stones, haven't you, really?
Yeah. Each year it's been great, and although having an injury, it kind of, helped to get me where I am today, and each year has been a stepping stone on the previous year, and it's all worked out well. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed for future years.
Well, I think you'll be fine, Jess. All right, well, lovely to see you again. Good luck in Paris for the European Indoors.
Thank you.
Even though you'll be, 25 and slippery slope downhill, we get a bus pass in Sheffield for that, I think.
25.